Hello and welcome to IBTimes TV. I'm Leanna Brinder, Deputy Business Editor for the International Business Times. Joining me now is Lett. He's the CEO of Blur Group. So hi, Philip.
Hi.
Hi. Well, thanks for joining us. In terms of what the politicians are doing to help the industry, I mean, the UK, especially over the last few years, the politicians really seem to be understanding how important tech companies are to our economic growth. Do you think enough has been done, though, in terms of really either helping startups or even having the, I suppose, tech beer moths of the industry being able to flourish over in the UK rather than take their business elsewhere?
I don't think enough has been done to try and analyse exactly what it takes to build a strong and growing and broad ecosystem of technology innovation. And in the end, why does Silicon Valley still rule and is still so much more successful than other places? And there are some very good reasons, some very good ingredients. I run a Silicon Valley business, so I understand the ecosystem very well. And New York has tried to map that. Boston has kind of had some success. But if you really look outside of Silicon Valley, the successes have been kind of lower and much, and less powerful. And I think that's something that the UK needs to really think about. How can we try and become the Silicon Valley of Europe? And I think there is an opportunity to do that, but I don't think there's enough time really or effort being spent on trying to understand the exact ingredients that build this ecosystem. And it's not money alone. It's the education system. It's how universities link up with businesses. It's how we build open labour pools, how we build engineering talent, how we bring engineering talent in from all over the world, how we nurture small business to medium-sized tech company to large titan. And we lack particularly, we have, I think, quite a lot of startups. Unfortunately, failure rates for startups are very high. So I think we have a lot fewer medium-sized tech businesses and even fewer large tech businesses. And I think that's something for all of us to try and figure out how we break the barriers down so that we can.
Sure. I mean, one of the, I suppose, products even, I mean, this is segueing a bit, but one of the big boom products that's been happening at the moment that isn't, I suppose, physically tangible is Bitcoin. And obviously, as your time as one of the leaders from Beans, which was from the 90s to early 2000, what are your thoughts on people's concerns over Bitcoin being the next bubble, the next dot-com bubble? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, again, private currencies or alternative currencies, they've been around for thousands of years, and there'll be many more. I think the challenge with alternative currencies is because they're not government backed. Obviously, you're trying to build an alternative mechanism, which is needed out there. But as a result, I think they tend to be niche, and they tend to ride waves of popularity, waves of use. And I don't think the world has yet figured out whether there is a place for a broad-based alternative currency. I don't think we know that yet. The closest we've probably got to that is airline miles. And I'm not sure the world has figured out whether it needs one. Today, currencies are controlled by governments, and and that is probably a sensible way of organising things. But I think these alternative currencies tend to fill gaps or niches or human desires to exchange in different ways. So it'll be Bitcoin now, and then it'll probably be something else in 10 years' time, or something else in 20 years' time.
Well, the industry itself is just consistently evolving. Every year there's a new, not even just product, but developments on the tech side that make previous, I suppose, dreams of what information you can get out there or bridge with certain people before that felt impossible is now possible. Is there anything, I mean, really in the short term that you're eyeing as one of the next big, not booms, but I suppose biggest increases in take-up from consumers, or something that could revolution the way we do business?
We obviously believe that e-commerce is going to be huge. It's a $2 trillion market. The global services industries, I mean, like for us consumers, we care about buying goods. So Amazon and eBay are hugely successful, and Alibaba obviously in the Far East. These platforms are massive. They're now, e-commerce is nearly 7% of retail, full stop. businesses don't care as much about goods. What they care about is services. That's where they spend their money. That's what moves their businesses. That's what transforms them. So the e-commerce market is potentially massive, and we think we're right at the beginning of that, and we're very excited to be the pioneer of e-commerce at Blur Group.
Great. And I mean, as the industry evolves, especially in e-commerce, I mean, regionally there's going to be, I suppose, challenges when it comes to government legislation in different areas in terms of how you do business on the internet, on reporting and things like that. How do you see yourselves as the facilitator being able to, you know, marry up all those regional differences, especially when laws come into play? What are you doing to prepare for that?
What we always do, a big part of our business is educating and managing our burgeoning ecosystems. So, you know, it was easier when we had 100 businesses on our e-commerce platform, and it was easier again when we had 1,000 businesses. Adding 1,000 new businesses around the world to our platform on a monthly basis is a lot of work. And the way in which we help organise things better for everyone, both buyer and seller of services and our partners as well, is to constantly educate. And that is, I think, one of our big opportunities and challenges going forwards, is how do we manage to help all businesses that are on our e-commerce platform to do business with each other differently and better. And where we need to, you know, facilitate that process with governments, we'll do that.
Sure. And rounding off, I mean, at the moment you cover so many different areas in order to facilitate all these businesses being able to grow or even, you know, start up. Naturally, there are going to be areas where you're going to expand. Are there any certain sectors that you're looking to expand into in the near term?
Yeah, I mean, the wonderful thing about being a pioneering platform, and again, I keep bringing us back to Amazon, but if you look at Amazon, you know, they were the first mover, they own the space, and so the opportunities, what we care about as consumers is endless choice. And it's the same for us. At the end of the day, businesses, they trust our platform. They've been doing business on our platform for many years, and they want our platform to be able to help them buy or sell any kinds of, you know, core business services, whether it's I need a website and I want to buy that efficiently and I want to buy it quickly at the press of a button, or whether it's I want to buy a TV ad, or whether it's me wanting to buy mobile apps or you know, or PR campaigns or legal advice, or, you know, or broader technology services. Ultimately, our customers are like consumers. The platform works, and it works very well for them. So they want us to be able to cover as many services as possible. So we keep broadening out, but today we cover most of the kind of major core services.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time today. And that was Philip Lett, CEO of Blur Group.